interesting journey. Trust the process has been quite the conversation in my head lately. And today is no different. A different aspect of the process. And so I say process, it can be sanctification, it can be your walk with Yeshua, that you're learning more about Him, you're learning more about yourself, you're learning more about why you're even here. I mean, you ask yourself that? Because it's no mistake. In case you didn't know, there's no mistake that you're here right now during this time period. So ask Him why you're here. At the same time, I believe I know in my life, I believe that the Lord is healing, cleansing, bringing up woundings and traumas and all kinds of stuff, that memories, good, bad, ugly, He's bringing them all to the surface. Now, why would He do that? Like, why can't you just say, be gone? And that's it. Clean slate. It can eventually, but He wants it brought up for quite a few reasons, actually. I always thought it was to just bring it to the surface, cleanse it, it's gone. You know? Now it's not an issue. First of all, the enemy cannot use it against you. It's amazing how my adversary, the Satan, can, you know, his minions, they pull up stuff from my family, from my past, mistakes I've done, things that were done against me, words that were spoken over me, curses that were spoken over me, and they take those things and they torment you, right? And then you're looking for a way out, because sometimes it's so overwhelming. The noise and the clamor right now is so overwhelming that you're looking for your hiding place. You're looking for your strong tower. You're looking for your refuge. And do not take the false refuge. I feel like, oh, brother, where art thou? Do not return. Do not go to the false refuges. Lean, even if ever so slightly, lean into Yeshua. First of all, He understands what you're going through, and He's your advocate. He will point you in the right direction, because He is the way. And then Holy Spirit, Ruach, is here, is our comforter, our translator of the word, our helper, our very present help in time of need. Whew. And so when you cry out, that's what I love. I just, raise my hand out of the pit and call out. You can call out to Abba, you can call out to Father, because if you know Yeshua, if you have released your life to Him and said, I take on your light yoke, Yeshua, in place of this burden I have on me, this debt I owe, then you're covered under His blood, under that covenant. And guess what? Oh my goodness. Now you can call on all the help you need. Who's there? He's never going to leave you. He's always right there. We always think He's, taken off, but it's us. We're the ones who are wanderers. But, so, I kept thinking about this process part. I don't know about you. I'm not a big fan of bringing up old stuff. I was taught, the past is the past. Just leave it in the past. Okay, so now I found out that is incorrect, because the past will come back to haunt you at times, and you really need to deal with it. You need to deal with it. And I have not been through as crazy, heinous things that other people have been through. I mean, you start reading about those who've been through SRA, satanic ritual abuse, those who have been through MK Ultra and other programming. I mean, it's horrible. It's just horrible. These things don't happen to just the Jason Bourne people, okay? There's horrible stuff that's being perpetrated against people, sometimes before they even come out of the womb. They are already programming them with torture, and not trying to scare you, but maybe wake up a little bit and realize that what you've been hearing hints of is actually true. And it's way worse than what we even think it is. They would rather keep us in the dark than for us to yell out and say, first of all, we do not consent to what you are trying to put us under. And second of all, save those who are under that bondage. So, I digress as usual. But I do and I don't. Now, the process part. So I've been through stuff, yes. Enough to understand that there is evil in this world. And to understand that there are people being used by that evil. But then also, my loving Savior has not only protected me in so many ways, he has, what's the word I'm looking for? Delivered me. Yeah, that's it. He delivered me from the jaws of death. Because I can't tell you how many times I've wanted to check out of here. Yeah, me. That was a constant barrage in my brain. The critic that never left me for decades as a child and into my adult years, constantly berating me for all of my mistakes and my unworthiness of anything. I mean, I still kept reaching out to Yeshua, but still felt unworthy constantly. I was so works-based. Got interrupted a little bit there, but talking about process. So here's the thing, my point. Process is also the way our body, our mind, our emotions process things as well. It's one of the things I love about crafting, working with your hands, having a hobby, is that same processing. I was thinking about a veteran I know who has been struggling, and you're living your life, you're thinking everything's fine, and then something gets brought up. A memory, like I said, if something's brought up, instead of pushing it down and trying to forget it or say it doesn't have the power it has, allow it to come up. I know that's scary for some people because there's some things that people don't want to open up that kettle of fish. I get it. But I think I know for me that when I have allowed things to it keep coming up. It's the same thing over and over. Maybe it's a memory, a person, so I don't know. Let's just say my dog died, blah, blah, blah. That, whatever that did for me at that time period, that season of my life. So God keeps bringing it up to my memory. For all I know, even my adversary could be bringing it up, trying to torment me. But that's okay. God's allowing it to come up. So let's lift it before Him. Lord, what do you have to say about this? That is where you need to be at all times. What do you have to say about this? Because now these things can get processed and healed, and you can move on. If you are being tormented over the same things over and over, then perhaps they need to be processed. I know there are ways that we have processed things that are not healthy, are not productive, that harm us even more. You want to feel alive, so, you do XYZ because that helps you to process it. I know I'm talking around all these things, but okay, I'll be just blunt, straight out. Drinking, drugs, sleeping around, looking for somebody to give you the attention you need, looking at pornography, all the things that are damaging to us because we're trying to get away from what keeps coming up. It wants to be processed. This is why I love craft therapy. And a lot of people don't like that term therapy, but it is. It's therapeutic, crafting. So you're working with your hands, you're working on woodworking. Maybe you're working on a vehicle. Here's what was explained to me, is the traumas in the back of your brain that are stored back there are brought to the front of your brain and processed while you are doing this. You don't even have to do anything about it. It's not like you're under, you're not sitting in a therapist's office at the time. Yes, I think there's places for those things at times. But a lot of times, it just needs to be processed out. Because then it doesn't have the same hold on you, and it cannot torment you. Now, if you are a disciple of Jesus, if you love Yeshua and are all in, let's put it that way. I'm going to start saying that more often, because that's where we need to be. There's too many people that just read the words off because they wanted their get out of hell free card, and it's not what this is about, people. This is a relationship. And so he's going to keep trying to have one with you, and that's why these things get brought up, so you bring him to him. And so say it's my dog who got ran over by my neighbor. He was a terrible person, purposely ran over my dog. And then you're like, Lord, why do I even care about this? This is 10 years old. Why is this a problem? And he's like, well, bring it to me. And so you do. You bring it to him, and you're like, what do you have to say about this? Do we have a strategy, Lord, that we could use to process this? And this does not get to have the same power over me anymore. Does not get to be used by my adversary. Does not stay in my body. Do you know how many people are sick? Everything. Do not want to minimize the true nature of, manifestation of cancer, of autoimmune, all these long-term debilitating diseases, even depression, mental health issues, all those. But consider the things that were said and done, memories you have buried within you that have not been processed and are poisoning your system. Consider that. I have met some super happy, joyful people that have died of cancer. And yet I knew for sure on a couple of them that there were memories that were buried for too long. So that, remember that spirit of Ziz I talked about, the spirit of forgetting? Well, the forgetting part is dismembering. It literally tears apart your memories, and it feels like it embeds it into your system, in your tissues, in your bones. And if you haven't dealt with them and processed them and allowed the Lord to heal you and restore you from them, not only can they destroy you, but they can get passed on to the rest of your family. There's an DNA epigenetics. There's so many people talking about this stuff now. Come on. I've told you enough times. Go to Dr. Laura Sanger. Start there. And then go to people like Tammy Sorensen. Her music and her research and how this affects how music and frequency and I know that even color, there are so many things that affect the ability of our body to heal itself. That's what the journey I'm on, is to find those things that God has provided for me to heal my body. And the first thing I'm allowing things to be processed. Not fun. Yeah, sometimes I'm weepy. Sometimes I'm angry. But he's teaching me. He's teaching me how to reach out to him and hand it over. Say, what do you have to say about these things? Some things are real fresh, stuff that just happened. I have friends who've gone through so many tragedies recently and lost so many people. That's fresh. That's painful. And that's going to take time. Everything takes time. And you have it, believe it or not. You do have time. because the Lord is not linear in time himself. He is everywhere. And if you trust in him and your relationship with him, and if you're all in, I know he will heal you. Does that mean that all the things you have problems with, challenges here on earth now, are going to go away? Sometimes they do. Sometimes instantly, sometimes it takes a while. But those who have been instantly delivered from disease and other, just all the stuff, when they've had an instant deliverance, I've known too many of them that have not sown into their relationship with the Lord. They got what they wanted and they walked away. That's not how this works. People, I really want you to hear his voice, because he says that my sheep know my voice, and I am his. He is mine. I am his. He is mine. That's where I want to be. I want to be cleaved to him so strongly and closely that I allow him to process out of me those things that are not helpful, that are not what he wants to have in me. Things that, the enemy uses a lot of junk before you're born, before you're conceived in your own family line. But then now all the technologies, and I hate to tell you, if you're not paying attention to all the blurry things in the world, get on Blurry Creatures and all those people, or go to the deep end. He is literally in the deep end, Taylor Welch is. And get in there and listen to what's truly going on around you. No more playing. No more playing. I'm all in. Are you all in? All right. I'm your hope dealer here, so I want to bring you some more hope. As I have processed, the Lord has allowed me to be put in places where healing can begin, restoration can begin, because I look to him, not my own devices, to heal a situation, to heal a relationship, to fix anything. I have to be true, I have to be honest, and most of all, I have to be honest with him. Why are you trying not to be honest with God? He already knows. Right? Why are we trying to hide things from him? So, the hopeful part here is that he hears you. He knows you. And oh boy, did I learn today. I think it's Genesis, I want to say 16:13. Hagar, Sarah's handmaiden. Sarah's like, I'm never going to have kids. Here, have my handmaiden, blah, blah. She's pregnant. And then Sarah's, doesn't like the way her handmaiden looks at her. Like, hey, I have a kid, you don't. Whatever. There's a dust up, and Hagar takes off. And she's out in the middle of nowhere, and she doesn't know what to do. And the angel of the Lord, and actually when you look in the exegetical guide, it's Yahweh. Yahweh comes to her and it says, go back to Sarah, go under her care. I'm going to be doing these things. This is what's happening. So God's in the middle of this, right? And she calls Yahweh the Elroy. I'm probably not even saying it correctly, but what I love is that Elroy, or Yahweh, Elroy, yes, is the God who sees me. So even a handmaiden who's giving birth to those who have enmity against, the tribe of Israel, the Hebrews. Anyways, I'm thinking, oh my goodness, even that woman who's a bondservant, she doesn't have any say, she doesn't have any freedom to, you know what I mean? This woman understood that God came to her where she was at. And I just want to say today,